I've been zoning, I've been zoning.
Alright, y'all, welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to the next video in this series of getting this header replaced. So when I started this before, I thought I got the wrong thing, and now I'm thinking of, now looking at it, there's another thing I need to take off of here. So I believe in order to get this turbo blanket on here, I need to take this little oil reservoir off of here, which I think is going to be this little bolt right here at the top that holds the heat shield on, and these two bolts here at the bottom. Let me see if y'all can see this. These two bolts down here at the bottom, right here and right here. So I'm thinking if I take these two bolts and this bolt out right here at the top, I should be good to go. So let's see if I am correct in my assumption. Alright, y'all, so let me correct myself. You did not have to take this bolt off. Just the two bolts at the bottom that hold the turbo oil pan, so to speak, to this little flange right here. So now the kit comes with some wire already, and let me get something else. The first thing we're going to need to do is get this wire separated from here. And then I guess essentially we should wrap it around these little tabs right here. So I'm gonna wrap it around there, twist it, and then pull it all the way around. I'm gonna measure to where it'll meet on this other side around the turbo, and do the same thing on this side, wrap it and bring it around this side of the turbo around to the bottom, and then tighten it on. So once I get that going, we can start with putting this thing on here, so we can go ahead and get all this whole assembly put back on the car. All right. Alright, so it looks like I got this going. It's twisted on there pretty good. I actually looped it around there like 3 times and then twisted it on there. That shouldn't come off, but it's not like it's going to be under any sort of pressure or anything like that. And I got it started on this side too. So now I'm just going to put it on, try to snake everything around and get to the point where I'm able to tighten it around these other loops. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so there we go. Kind of got it on. You can see I got it wrapped around there, wrapped around here, looped it around like 3 or 4 times, and then twisted it right there. Same thing here, and I came back around. So we are on there good and tight. So now all we got to do is put the oil pan back on here, and then put the heat shield back on, and then we can put this whole little assembly in the car. So let's we go ahead and put this oil pan back on here. So I'm gonna have to make this quick, y'all. The camera keeps shutting off on me because it keeps getting hot. So now putting this on is gonna be a tight squeeze because you got that added padding from the heat shield on there. So you're gonna have to really compress this, and don't use the threads when you bolt that oil pan back on there to pull it up. You don't want that. So I pushed it, and moved a little. It's like a little bean bag almost, and moved that stuff around just to get that in there. And then I tightened it on there as far as as much as I could without over tightening it too much so it doesn't strip. The next thing is going to be putting this top heat shield on because you're going to have to use this again to put that on there. And I would start with the 2 bolts back here. Put these 2 bolts on first, get them started, and then right here you're going to have to do some careful maneuvering. You're going to have to hammer down on this a little bit to get this hole to line up. Be careful with it because with this one right here, it didn't go in right. So it kind of smoothed it out a little bit, but the threads are okay on that little bracket back here. So I just used one of the bolts from the heat shield on the OEM header, and I put that in there, carefully put that in there, started it by hand, and then I just tightened it all the way in there. So that's it. So as far as for putting your the turbo, the Faction Fab turbo blanket on there, that's what you got to do. Just remember, it's only 2 bolts on the bottom down here. These 2 bolts down here at the bottom, 1 and 2. Take these 2 off because you're going to have to drop this little oil pan. You could do it while it's in the car. You're just going to have to loosen the header down a little bit to where it gives you enough slack to get this heat shield off. And then drop this little oil pan right here. And then you could wrap it around there. Put the little wire ties on it the way I kind of wrap them around. And then you're going to have to compress this bad boy on. It's nice doing it on the bench because it's a little easier. Put that on there. And then after that, carefully maneuver yourself, putting this heat shield on there, and then you are good to go. So everything that I got here, I will link it in the description. Thank y'all for taking the time out to watch this video, man. I really appreciate y'all. And let's continue on with the next stage of all of this, which is going to be once the header goes back on. The header's going to go back on there, hook everything back up on that end, and then at that point, the next video you'll see is probably me putting the pairing J-pipe turbo brackets on instead of that OEM bracket that goes all the way around. And then we'll do that one, putting it on, put the J-pipe on and all of that stuff, and then once all that's back on, and we'll do the startup on that video. So again, appreciate y'all. Like, subscribe, hit that bell notification so you get notified whenever I put a video out, and your boy will see you on the next video. Peace.